Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. How's your day?
It's pretty good. What about yours?
Yeah, it's going good. It's going good. Just preparing some of the materials for the masterclass. It's gonna be today. It's gonna be at 4 p.m. EST, just in case you're interested. And yeah, that's about it. So, what's the latest news you got in the game?
Um, well, like I tried to rank up today. Well, okay, I was in Plat like a couple days before. I got the Diamond 3 yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then today I tried to rank up to Diamond 2. Um, I was one game away from Diamond 2, and then I lost like three in a row, and I was like, okay, it's not my day, so I just got off for the day. Um, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
basically it. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to rank up for Diamond 2 tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah. What kind of characters you been playing so far recently, for the most part?
Oh, um, well, I think I can give you like four. Venom, Strange, Wolverine, and occasionally like Invisible Woman. If like I have too many, if so many people spam like DPS or tank, but those four mainly I think are the people I play
Makes
in
sense.
competitive.
Makes sense. Again, will I will still say that ideally, if you just lean towards one role, will be more beneficial and the climb is gonna be faster. But again, your choice.
Yep.
What you want to do. If you do enjoy playing multiple characters, I think just as a Venom, Strange, Wolverine, yeah, and with woman, it's okay. However, you might build conflicting habits, so be careful. Just try to, ideally, if possible, lean towards one rule, just for the effectiveness of the climb.
Yep.
And there are a few notes as well from before. Let me look. So you've been mentioning that there have been some problems with when you play multiple games, and it's been just difficult for you. Yeah, you kind of get on a lose streak. Yeah, so you kind of mentioned that you just keep playing after the lose streak. Yeah, can you elaborate on that actually? Just interested. Maybe we can discuss a few strategies there too. Uh, what is happening exactly? How many games you play usually when this happens and such?
Yeah, like I can tell you like about today. Like I got on today, in the morning because we have a break. And then the first in competitive, I got on. I lost my first match, and then I queued up with a friend, and we ended up winning three in a row. And I was one game from Diamond 2.
Hmm.
And then I played three in a row. I lost three in a row. And then we won one, and then we lost one, and I was like, okay, I'm done for the day. Um, like I got basically like when I win a game, it's like plus 22, and when I lose, it's like minus 23, minus 24. So it's like kind of the whole progress of the win kind of gets lost. So I'm like, okay, basically I just like won two matches the whole day or something like that in terms of just like how much the rank is from like when I started the day and when I ended the day. Um, like, but that's what happened today. But like yesterday or 2 days ago, like, um, let me see. Like, I think I won like, uh, let's see. I'm not okay. Yeah, like I've gone. I won two games straight. I lost a game. Then I won three in a row. Then I lost two in a row. Um, and then it goes on for like one loss, two wins, one loss. And then I go on like a four-game loss streak. Um, and then I play three more, and then I go one and two, and then I rank down. Um, and that was before I started considering like, oh, maybe I should take a break because if I felt like if I took a break there, I would have been at like Diamond 3 instead of Plat 1. Um, I think when I lose like three in a row or two in a row, I get this feeling that like, oh, maybe this game is gonna be different, or like, maybe these two games were just like anomalies or something. I don't really believe in like the loser queue thing like that. Like I get queued up with if I lose this game and I get queued up with like bad teammates next game, but like I feel like that happens a lot, or especially when you lose a game, then you get queued up with worse teammates. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, okay, so there are a lot of notes to address. Okay, let's actually just pull up the board. I think it's gonna be more important to go over this stuff first, and after that we can go over the gameplay, obviously. But I think
Hmm.
this is the most important, the effectiveness of your practice. Just making sure we solve that first. Okay, I'm just gonna
Yep.
screen share. Here is, just name it effective practice, and this is gonna be our name in there, so I will not forget, and we can find it later on the board. Okay, let's just put it somewhere over here. So, see main notes so far. Also gonna have the recording there. Okay, one is your goal setting. What you mentioned so far, a lot of what I hear is you saying, okay, I might reach diamond, I might reach this and or that rank, I drop from that rank. Yeah. So there's kind of a lot going on about just your goal setting about the rank, it seems. The play time is something also I want to discuss because based on the notes before, and also to remain high focus. Yeah, let's just kind of address this one. So first of all, what happens is, like you said, when you're in this game lose streak, yeah, sometimes it feels that you're just getting placed with not as good players.
Mm. Yep.
Yeah, that's usually happens. Okay, let's just kind of have this, let's call this one side, we're gonna call it problems. Okay, this is something what you might potentially pay attention to. Okay, so we got this problem where you're
Mm.
on 4 game lose streak. Okay, and what happens is you tend to lose more. Well, why it might be the case usually? What do you think? Why it might be the case for you? Well, of course, we can consider that maybe you get in place with not as good teammates, but is there anything else? What do you
Yep.
think? Maybe more realistic as well. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. Um, I think like usually after like a session, I go on like the tracker website and I look at like my game history or like the win rates of every hero. And they have like the KDA on like the bottom right whenever they like see at the end of the game. And whenever I lose, it seems like I always or like 70 or 80% of the time I always have a bad KDA or like I have a lot of
Yep.
deaths.
Yep. KDA drops. Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, like even though okay, we lost, okay, sure that we had like one or two bad teammates, but maybe I didn't play that well myself if I'm looking back at the game. So maybe
Mm.
that's something I need to look at. Like even if like, oh, we lost because this guy did like he was like 7-12 with Moon Knight, but I was like 9-7 with Venom. So I didn't play that much better and just looking at the KDA or how many deaths we did.
Sure.
So in that case, maybe some plays I should have been better. Yeah.
Sure. Sure. That might be a good representation sometimes, but sometimes it's not. I would say in the game like Marvel Rivals or even Overwatch, sometimes you're gonna have games where you don't have as good KDA, maybe you have more deaths than usual. Maybe sometimes we're just saying you dead. Like a lot of people, they tend to just say, a lot of players, they tend to say, well, if you're dead, that's usually something you messed up on. Yeah, that's something usually you did wrong.
Mm.
But a lot of times there might be good deaths as well. To give you an example,
Hmm.
if you capture the point and you push up more and you trade yourself, just go in, die, but you trade and get 2 kills. That might be
Mm.
okay. That might be okay a lot of times. So maybe you died, but you forced out 3 ultimates. Again,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
big. It's pretty big. So I wouldn't judge yourself on just based on KDA too much. Yes, it can be helpful, but it's not helpful just looking at it. I think it's helpful to look at it through the lens of your game first. You look at the game, see what's going on
Mm.
there, and only later look at KDA. A lot of players, they make that mistake where they look at KDA right away and they make the judgment. Yeah. So see, this might be
Yep.
not the most accurate. Be careful with this. So I would
Gotcha. Yep.
replace this one with something else. Okay. Maybe what happens? Okay, 4 game lose streak. Kitty, well, might be. Yeah, let's say this might be. Kitty drops. Not the most consistent though. Yeah, not the most consistent. Look at this. Okay. Well, maybe there's something else you can notice. Yeah, what else happening? Maybe just within yourself. What do you notice? How do you play? How do you feel? This sort of stuff. What usually might happen to
Mm.
you?
I think I think in a loss compared to a win, um, I want to say I always get off to like a death or two, like immediately at the start of the game in a loss.
Hmm.
Either that's with like me like diving into the back line, or like if I'm Venom, I use my swing to engage, and then I don't have my swing for the escape, and then they kill me. Um, but that always happens. I feel like that happens more occasionally in a loss than a win.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm more sharper in a win. I don't know how to explain it, but like so I think sometimes the losses it just feels off. Maybe at the moment, like I start playing, like or
Yeah.
like the minute or two, um, like or at least like how the flow of the game is going for me. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I would
Yeah.
try to describe it.
Yeah. What you're describing there, it's your actions within the game. I'm curious, what do you think about the mental state as well when you have this loose streak going on? What usually happens to your mental? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Um, I think when I lose one, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But when I lose two or three, um, then I do get a bit annoyed. I think by then I'll usually go like to the tracker website, and I'll look at like, oh, I lost these 3 games in a row. Um, uh, it feels different. Again, just because like you can't help but get a little bit annoyed at like you losing 3 games in a row. I think that just happens. Um, so like for me, I mean now I'm taking a break, but before back then I just like okay, let's just queue up for like 3 more and let's see what happens. Um,
Yes.
but now I just try to be like, okay, let's calm down a bit. Um, like what did you do during that like last match that made you lose the game, or what did this play do? But yeah.
I see. I see. See, this makes sense to me. What you might notice as well, a lot of times when you on this big game lose streak, you might not notice it right in the moment, but usually what happens with us, our confidence tend to drop. Generally speaking, you as a player, you will not feel as confident a lot of times. That's why you actually go on those stalker websites. You just want to confirm, am I doing good? Yeah, like to make sure you feel reassure yourself, you feel confident. The problem with that though, you might not feel confident because you go watch KDA because again it's not the most consistent factor. Yeah, sometimes you watch the KDA and then you're like, oh well, it looks bad, but in reality, in situation in the game where you've been playing, that would be really good KDA. Maybe there are a lot of counters versus you. Well, sort of just tough matchups, let's say tough characters to play into stuff like that, and that's fine. So this is what usually
Hmm.
happens. Your confidence tend to drop, and because of it we tend to play wars, and that's what you most of your process when you think, okay, yeah, I just played 4 games, and then you start playing 3 more, and because your confidence dropped, then you tend to think that you being placed with the players which are not as good because you
Hmm.
playing your confidence level dropped as well, and this affects your play exactly. So a lot of times it's not exactly them, which could be, well, it could be your teammates. Sometimes you get unwinnable games as well, and that's totally fine. That is
Yep.
something you have to deal with too. Yeah, it's just understanding that, okay, if this happens, and by the way, you might have this off day as well, where you get a
Mm.
lot of losses, and it's fine. Even the boss players, even the pro level, nobody is consistent. Consistent consistency in this way, it's a myth, because you still gonna have, sometimes you're gonna have good days, sometimes you're gonna have bad days. What matters is what do you do with this. What it matters is if this happens because your confidence drops,
Yep.
your performance goes slower, how you gonna deal with that in the game, what do you do about that. So let's just say, okay, this is
Mm.
something you want to solve. Okay, so the solution. Okay, let's go towards this side maybe. And if confidence drops, yeah, maybe you on this 4-game lose streak, what could be a good solution for us? So we've been doing this where you played 4, well, kind of saying I play 3 more, yeah, to just see how that's gonna go and such. You go on the KDA tracker as well. That's what we've been doing. Let's
Mm.
write it down. Yeah, watch KDA tracker. Okay, what do you think could be more helpful for you?
Like after a loss, um, I think it probably just like if I have time, probably just go back watch a replay of a loss, maybe. Um,
Sure. Okay.
like,
Watching your replay. I like that idea. Okay. So we just right after every loss, or how you want to go about that?
I think probably after like two or three, then I'm like, okay, then we gotta look at what's going on. Because like if I get one loss, I can maybe run off like 3 wins in a row after that, and I wouldn't consider the loss anymore. But like if I lose like two, three, four in a row, I'm like, okay, maybe we need to watch the replay. But
Okay. And what are you gonna
um,
watch there?
um, I think just like how I play, or like what I could have done better in terms of like positioning or like what I could have done to help my team out at the start of the game, in the middle of the game, or in this fight, like where I could have used my ult, but I wasted it like a minute ago when I should have used it this time. Something
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly. And see, I just want you to really recognize this is so much more helpful process compared to looking at KDA, because this here, knowing how do you perform with certain skill, it's much more consistent. You always know, not depending on the loss, not depending on the win, you always know that you performing good or bad with a certain skill. Maybe you not
Hmm.
using your swings as much, maybe you're not setting up, maybe you're not timing your pressure. That is always something you can take a look at and identify. Are you doing good or bad with that? All right. And the only one concern I have, though, I wouldn't look into the replays too much. It sounds like after just doing that after every 3 games might be a little bit too much, in my opinion. I would just recommend, usually it's good to start with 2 replay reviews per week. So it's just two, let's just say 2 kind of sessions where you skim through your replays. Well, you can skim through, through multiple replays if you want. You can even save some of the replays. But why it's better doing it this way? So first of all, you're not as biased, because after each loss, maybe after, just because the game's been played, you become more biased, and maybe you judge your teammates more. It's usual thing. But when you kind of let it wait for 2 3 days, and you have a special folder maybe with the replay which you want to watch, maybe you put it on your favorites and such, and you watch it later, it becomes for you more clear what you could be doing better, what you could be working on and such. So I would do it this way:
Hmm.
2 times, maybe 3 times, yeah, 2 3 times per week is enough. And how long your replay reviews could be is 15 minutes. So now, instead of looking at
Hmm.
KDA tracker every time and affecting it with your confidence, because you, again, it's not the most consistent stat, it's not going to tell you much. It's just but
Yep.
only based on what we see in the game, then looking at KDA could make sense. But I would just rather do this 2 3 times per week, that your time, it's gonna be more useful. And meanwhile, between the queues, if you get long queues, you could just spend the time in deathmatch, or you could spend time just practicing certain skill, whatever.
Mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
create custom game, just stay there. It's gonna be more effective way of spending your time. Okay, yeah. So this so far doesn't make sense. Or any
Mm.
questions?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yep. No
Yeah,
question.
perfect, perfect. Okay, and about this thing there, the last one is to just remain your focus. Make sure you stay highly focused instead of maybe playing constantly. We said that is something you
Hmm.
want to recognize. If you played four and then, well, it feels, because I know how it feels like as well from player's perspective. You might think, well, I played really well, and your mind is trying to trick you into play more. It's like doing the lottery, you know? It's just
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
the.
yeah.
Some of my students, they tell me, they made that analogy. I keep playing like it's a lottery ticket. And it's just, yeah, it's a good analogy, actually, because you keep playing and you think, okay, maybe it's going to be different. Maybe it's going to be different. But in reality, what you need to do is to make sure you regain the focus, be disciplined with your breaks. So breaks, something like maybe after 2 3 losses. Yeah, that is something what I mentioned to you. Let's just write down, take a break after a 2 3
Mm.
loss. Yeah, 2 3 games. I think it's good enough. It's really good. And this way you stay disciplined, and you also not affected. Yeah, just in case, let's say you don't notice. Maybe you don't notice that your mental, your confidence is down in the moment. This here, it allows you to just stay on track no matter what. Yeah, maybe you do play good, or maybe you don't play good. But this here, it still regains the focus, and you will be more consistent with what you do, I think.
Mm.
Take a break after 2 losses. And I'm just thinking in general, with your playtime, yeah, let's kind of get into this. What been your playtime so far?
Like throughout like the whole like the entire time I've been on Rivals, or
Just
like
per day at the moment. So, last moment we
oh,
been chatting with you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Like today I was on for 2 hours. Um, and like yesterday I think I was on for like five. It was a weekend. Um, I think that number should be around the same, like 2 3 hours on like a weekday and like five maybe six on the weekend.
I see. Okay, so I just kind of write it down. Yeah, 2 3 hours. Yeah, and just on weekday and 5 hours on weekends. Okay, it would be. Yeah, so I remember the number was during the week. Yeah, it was pretty high. Yeah, what do you think when you play 2 3 hours? How do you usually feel at the end of the game session?
I mean, I feel good. Like the first hour is always like kind of a warm up for me. Because maybe I didn't do anything else throughout the day that would prepare me for the game. But then I get on, and after an hour, it's okay. But like usually around like 2 3 hours is when I feel pretty good, and after that, I still feel fine. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Do you take breaks, but just during those hours as well? Not connected to this, yeah. Not after the losses, but just maybe every hour or so. Or yeah, how do you go about taking breaks?
Uh, I think like usually after like 4 or 5 matches in a row, I just like maybe like walk around for like 5 10 minutes around the house. Just try to like take a break from the game because like maybe my eyes get tired or I'm just my eyes are just a little bit strained. Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, and it's really good if you do something outside of your workspace. Yeah, let's say I'm just playing in front of the PC. It's really good. If you do something else, just that could be anything. I recommend maybe increase your breaks to 10 minutes though. Might 5 minutes might be a little bit on low end. Usually,
Okay.
around 10 15 minutes is the best. So you kind of reset your mind a little bit more. 5 could be okay, but again, I would just try to experiment with that. Maybe see, because this is something what can influence your focus during the game as well, and might affect your lose streaks, win streaks, and such. Try to do that every hour. It's okay, and this as well. This is gonna be a nice addition. Yeah, after 2 3 losses, this is nice. All right, yeah, sounds good. And yeah, the last note was the first one. It's about the goal setting, and there's some connections we can make as well. A lot of times you've been saying, okay, what if I reach this rank? Yeah, I dropped from that rank and such. So, do you feel like your results? I'm just thinking, what's the end result for you out of the game session? What are you looking to get out of the game session usually? Is it just climbing the rank, or maybe, like you mentioned as well, reach certain KDA and such, or what is that about for you?
Yeah, I think for me, every day that I get on the game, I usually like because I just play competitive like 90% of the time. I think the goal is to rank up. But also like a little goal I have in mind is like obviously I want to get better each time I'm on the game. Like
Mhm.
um, they'll just try to like if I made little mistakes like a week or two ago, maybe you don't see the same mistakes now. Or I got better at improving. Just little stuff like that. But I think like the goal obviously each day is just try to like if I'm diamond three this day, I want to get the diamond two or diamond one if I have time. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. See, the problem with those kind of goal setting, this goal setting is your goal is something what is not constant. And if the goal is not consistent, I will explain. It's not something what you can get value out of each time. Why? Because if you have the goal, I'm climbing towards the diamond, or my goal is to reach top 100, my goal is to reach GM. Sometimes you will notice that, well, there are still going to be games which you cannot win. Yes, so there's sometimes the games which maybe you got to throw, or maybe somebody disconnected. Yeah, basically there might be situations where you just will have those losses, and see, because you have this goal of, okay, I'm trying to reach that rank, that can affect your confidence as well, because this goal is not positive, that is not something you can get value out of no matter what. See, this is a big problem as
Hmm.
well with a lot of players have. Your goal has to be positive in a way that you always get value out of it. Maybe the most common goals are, I'm having fun. That is something you can always do. Yeah, you go in
Yep.
the game, you have fun no matter what. You lose, you win. Well,
Mm.
it's something you can maybe do. You can also do something
Yep.
else, like I mentioned, work on certain skills. Okay, work on certain skills. Maybe it's your swing, maybe it's your positioning, maybe again it's your timing, and that is what I want you to pay attention to. Make sure you establish certain routine where you have certain skills in mind, and you just track yourself. You um, identify the results based on how you implement those skills, not based on where you at with the rank, because that is something what, again, not positive in a way. It's not always gonna tell you what's exactly your skill set is, and it's not the most
Mm.
consistent way of looking at your skill. Yeah, you're mostly gonna judge yourself on based on certain skills, and if you keep doing that, inevitably your rank gets higher as well. Yeah, but
Yep.
you're not gonna be affected with the rank as much. I think that is something what we can do. Yeah, what do you think?
Mm.
How you would go about working on certain skills? What kind of routine you can do to make sure your focus is leaned more towards the just working on certain goals? What you could be doing?
Um, I think in terms of like working on certain skills, like if I want to like learn how to properly dive a back line, like I would maybe just spend an hour or two on playing this character that is specifically supposed to be doing that. And
Hmm.
then just learn timing or what I can do with
Yeah.
that character. Like if I'm playing Venom, like oh maybe the whole team's pressured up, and then you see this Luna Snow in the back line that seems pretty free, and then I dive and I kill it, and then I get out.
Exactly.
Um, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And see, this is quite important. I mentioned I'm learning how to dive, and to be able to learn that, you need to maintain the consistent pool of the characters, and remember the stuff I mentioned about the just consistency
Hmm.
of your pool if possible. If you're able to play the same role as much as possible, it's really nice, even though you don't get the most effective combo. Let's say you play tank, but they're sweet tanks, and maybe that just maybe one tank sometimes. It shouldn't affect your judgment the most. Yes, composition matters, but what matters the most is your performance, and making sure you play the characters you want to practice on, you actually enjoy playing as well. So stuff like that, yeah. And you're building the habits on the exact role. That's really nice. Okay, working on certain skills. What do you think you can do just regarding, well, the make yourself focus, because some players, they have this problem where, well, you're saying, okay, let's work on the dive, yeah, or well, let's work on this and that, but how can you keep yourself focused? Just maybe, could you maybe create some notes, maybe just make sure you make something, maybe put the notes on your phone or maybe on in front of the
Mm.
desk? What do you think? Do you want to do that as well, or?
Yeah, yeah, I can probably just like put some notes on my phone, like or on my computer, like, oh, today you worked on this with like Venom, and then this is what you did well. Um, like, what was the goal of you playing with Venom, or like learning how to dive in the back line, and
Hmm.
then
For example,
maybe I
yeah.
wrote down like things I did well.
Yeah, for example, that is something we can discuss later, I think. The goal setting, I would be curious to just go over, see how you use the notes. Obviously, I'm gonna give you the notes today as well. That is something what we gonna go through your gameplay and see what we can start with.
Hmm.
And based on the notes I sent you, don't just try to apply everything from the notes, but choose one, two skills to work on. I think just one is enough, and just work during the game. Later you can switch to another concept, then
Hmm.
to another. That is something we're going to talk about later as well. I will see how the progress is. For now, just to keep it simple, work at one goal at a time, and we'll be good. And make the judgment based on the skill, yeah, based on just how you do certain skill. That's where you have to what review, yeah, so we can make some connections. So how do I perform? Yeah, watching my replay, yeah, the connection is here. Also playtime, yeah, taking your breaks is really connected to remaining high focus, making sure that you're being consistent. What else? Yeah, I think every aspect here is really connected. So make sure you fix that first. I think the learn some, well, not the easiest one to fix for sure, but if you're able to do that learn some, you're gonna be ahead of a lot of players. That's really
Hmm.
nice. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, we spent enough time on this. Maybe any questions about anything regarding this, those notes, or everything's clear?
No, not really.
Oh,
I think it's pretty clear. Yeah.
okay. Then I'm just gonna create this screenshot and I'm gonna post it in your document. I'm gonna send it to you right after the session. Just make sure you
Okay. Okay.
look through the notes and maybe you can even write down something out of here. Maybe you can rewatch the recording later as well and just to look and see what you could be doing.
Yep.
All right. Now let's get to the gameplay part. We
All right.
got what kind of replay you want us to look at? I think there have been, yeah, so I see this code for Venom. It's been 3 days ago, but if you want, we can look at the more recent one. Yeah, what do you want to start with?
Okay. Yeah, we can look at some recent ones.
Yeah, up to you.
Like, does it have to be like specific, like a win or a loss?
If it's a close game, I think it's
Um,
really nice. Usually, I think also good
okay.
representation of a close game if it's quite long. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know exactly which one.
yeah, sure.
What is it? Um, let's see. Competitive. Um, let me see. I think it was this one.
Yeah, take your time.
Oh,
For the
yep.
future, you can also use the document and leave the codes there. Maybe you got any recent ones, you can just copy and paste
Hmm.
your codes in the doc.
Yep.
There's a section in the student notes, and you can self reflect on the progress as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems like the one I was looking for, I can't find it. It was
can
just
find it.
too down. I'm gonna try to look for another one. The one I was mentioning was like 24-ish minutes.
Yeah, I see the one you sent
Um,
me 3 days ago. It's 26 minutes as well. But
oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's up to you.
Both of them were pretty long games. Um, yeah, I can't find that one.
No,
Um,
it's no problem.
let me see. Give me like 2 minutes if I can find one more.
Yeah, take your time.
Um,
If you think you played, especially if you played differently, you think you played better and such, I
yeah.
think might be good.
Um, Mm, nah, the I don't know why, but the replays only show like 1 day, um, or like 3 days. Nah, I can't do
Yeah,
that.
it's I think mostly because of the your how many games you played. So what you can do
Oh
for the
yeah, that's true.
future, you can just go on the game and click on save it, put it on favorites. I believe you can have the
Yep.
start button right there. You can do it this way, or I just recommend a copy the code, leave some notes, send those to me
Okay.
in the document, and it will
Yep.
be a good
I'll
one
do
for
that.
the
I'll do that for
future.
next time.
Yeah, for the future will be good.
Yep.
Anyway,
For
we'll
sure.
start with fundamentals today, so it's all good.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, and I just watch. Your name there is Polo,
No, no,
or
no. It's the losing team. Yeah, of Venom.
oh yeah. Just I'm not used
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this icon.
You're good.
Okay,
You're good.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now we got it. Let's watch it.
I was strictly like Venom season 0, so I had to get the Lord.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got. Yeah, I'll just kind of skips towards this, and this is I think okay map. There might be some problems with the first point, especially in my opinion. There are not too many flank routes for you, but
Yep.
let's watch. Okay, so we're starting off. Well, it's here, and this is when the fight breaks in, and just gonna move on your POV. Let's watch you. Let's see what you do. Maybe anything you wanna say just before we started looking at this. What's your thought process? What are you usually looking to do on Venom? What's your goal basically?
Yeah. I think on this map especially, you usually have one person on the bridge or in the back looking to hit from distance, like a Moon Knight or like a even a Black Widow or Hawkeye.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. The high
So I
ground there.
usually just look at them first, like they have a Moon Knight there and the bridge, but um, I usually try to look at them, see if I can dive them in some sort of way. If I can't dive them, then I try to dive the back line. But yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, most pressure on the top. Yeah, diving backline. Yeah, makes sense to me. Okay, let's watch. It's kind of just start out. I assume. Well, what have you guys been looking for there? I'm just curious. So you just kind of wait for the.
Honestly, I'm not exactly sure. The strange one enemy. I go in immediately.
Yeah. So you just kind
Um,
of you wait for the opportunity, I guess, and then you
yeah.
just slam in. Hmm. I see. Okay.
This was before I learned how to, if I could crawl before I engage, or I could save my swing and then I get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. Exactly. So, what the biggest problem to me, you can do whatever you want in terms of mechanics wise. Yeah, you can crawl, you can just, I assume you're referring to if you just stay on the wall and then you slam from the
yeah,
wall.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. See, the universal idea for you on Venom, and just I think on any character in general, is to make sure you are set up, make sure you take the best
mm,
position possible, and after that you go from there. And see, what the setup gives you is you have your escape, you can have your swing back, because it's quite long cooldown in my opinion compared to the other characters as well. You don't have other
yeah,
mobility outside of it, so usually you don't want
yeah,
to invest this ability in going right away. You kind of want to get as close as possible. But now, what are your setup options looking like? Yeah, so one, you mentioned, yeah, we can be on some sort of wall. So let's just say adding some sort of verticality. That's usually where we want to be. We want to stay on, well, maybe some sort of high ground of the wall is good enough. Okay, that's one. Anything else? What are you looking for as well? Besides that
I
verticality,
think,
maybe
yeah,
anything.
yeah. I mean, in this situation, I'm using my swing. I'm usually just trying to see if like there's someone in the back line that's available for me to dive onto. Like, um, on their team, like they got a cloak and dagger, invisible woman. I'm usually looking for one of the two. Um, like if they're just like too far away from the front line and they're trying to push up, I can maybe separate one of the two, and then they can't really heal. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, my job here is to like get in, do damage. If I can kill, cool. But do damage, get out, annoy their team, basically. Yeah.
Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, makes sense to me. When you do this type of engagement, let's just kind of look at it from general standpoint. When we go from, I just maybe have this free camera. You go from here, this main doorway, towards this position as well.
Mhm.
Now, the problem is, which you might have with this type of engagement, is that usually it's really telegraphed, and the enemy, especially the higher you go, the more you will notice that the enemy will be able to see you and poke you down. This is what I call linear rotation. Usually you go from point
Mhm.
A to point B real fast, and that is something what can be punished. It might be punished with the CC, it might be punished with just general damage. So usually with your setup, besides just looking to stay on verticality, you need to try and take more side angles in a way. Instead of going, so let's say point
Mhm.
A to point B here, we can go from point A from the main towards this maybe left wall, or you can even end up on, let's say, this high ground somehow. Maybe try to take this
Yep.
route, maybe try to just establish the pressure from here and then dive in later. Of course, you want to be
Mhm.
fast with this, but usually we're trying to look for less linear engagements. That's gonna be another one, yeah. And just
Yep.
adding extra verticality and close range will be really nice mostly. So it's kind of setup first, okay, less than engagement, close range verticality, I got it. Yeah, maybe stay on the wall here, maybe get the high ground, and later look to engage. And when something goes wrong, of course, you can use your shields. You can maybe try to also slow down the enemies if there's good opportunity, and get out with your
Mhm.
with your swing, basically. Yeah. So
Yep.
now it just seems to kind of skipping the setup phase. Yeah,
Mhm.
you kind of just dive in right away, and this is what happens.
Yep.
You stuck. You're stuck in the area.
Yep.
Yeah, and you get into seat, and of course you use the shields, but because there's so much pressure on you, you feel like, okay, I gotta escape. But it would be much easier for you if we
Yep.
set up first, dive next. Yeah. Now you gotta regain your HP and repeat the cycle. Usually,
Yep.
when you're in this moment, you recognize, all right, what do I do? Okay, so what do you think? How do you set up in this case? What could you be doing? Just maybe,
I think here, I'm pretty sure all my like abilities have been refreshed, like
mhm,
swing, dive. Um, so if I'm looking here, I could like try to climb up on the wall, like right beside me. See if anyone's in the
potentially,
back line, like climb up the wall, then go back, try to dive someone else.
potentially,
Um,
yeah, sure.
uh, I think, well, from here I could have probably seen that the strangest half, um, or below half could have tried to dove the strange too. Um, I think those are the only two things because the cloak and dagger in the back they just healed me to full, so they're probably going to be stuck healing on strange.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, okay, if they're healing strange, then I can just go dive the backline for now
Hmm.
and see what happens. Yeah.
Sure, sure. Okay, okay. Makes sense to me. And when you dive the backline, so again, do you just go on the backline right away, or do you kind of set up, take the better option first, like I mentioned, maybe go on some sort of verticality and then dive, or how you would approach it?
Yeah. I think honestly, I think in this replay you'll see a lot of me like swinging in and then diving.
Hmm.
But what I'm trying to do now is like I would take a off angle. Like again, we mentioned like the little like the walls. I would try to run up a wall here and then try to dive in from where they can't see me.
Right.
Because if I swing here and then I dive in, they're expecting it.
Yeah.
So I want to go somewhere where they're not seeing me and then I can dive in. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what we want to do more. I would say, however, there might be an exception from the rule when you can straight in dive. Obviously, most of the time we're trying to
Hmm.
just set up and fight, set up and fight, set up and fight. But there's might be clear exception. It's just when you can get a kill. Maybe it's based on if they're low HP. Maybe there's somebody like a Spider-Man. They're already in the back line. You can help them out. Just dive somebody on the enemy team there. As an example, yeah,
Hmm.
we can just see, okay, this is 1 HP, I can easily execute, and you can try to stay alive later. Of course, there's some specifics you want to keep in mind, how you play cover and such, but This is doable. This might be doable to just go in and dive too. Just be careful with when you diving in with versus full resources. Yeah, usually. Okay, let's keep
Yep.
watching. Okay. So there, I would just anyway. Really need to set up though. You don't want to just kind of sit there. Even slight climb on the wall, like I mentioned, would be nice, and then attack from there.
Hmm.
Okay. This is looking fine. You can ignore the setup now. You can just dive in now. Repeat the setup. Yeah, try to go in and
Yep. I think I
scroll up.
climb up the
Yeah,
yeah I climb up the wall right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. This is good. Sometimes you might even invest your swing for momentum if you want to get higher right away because you
Hmm.
get your swing back later. It will be fine. But if you have time, yeah, you can also do this. Yeah, start on doorway. It's looking good. Okay, so you done the work. You set up. Yeah, this is early. You just have to sit. You just have to sit there, I think, slightly. Oh, wait. I just don't never mind. You got the objective. Yeah, once you got the objective, then you can start pushing. But then you will still have to look for different type of setup then. Yeah, you can try
Yep.
to just go somewhere else. What happened to our swing as well? I wonder.
I think I wasted it right there.
Yeah, what it could be
I
doing with
I'm
the swing
I'm not
instead.
sure what I was trying to. I think I
Mhm.
was expecting the strange to come in, and I was gonna dive, but you know,
Hmm. Yeah, so it's kind of just
I
try
was,
to,
yeah,
well, could be
yeah.
possible.
I could have done it without the swing. I could have done it without the swing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I think too. Probably, if you do this type of play, then make sure this is last telegraphed. You can try to hear this stuff well, but they maybe might come in. So kind of keep sitting there, or if they're not coming in, then commit to other play. Yeah, can be
Yeah.
clear direction because if you do this, then they already know you're here. They most likely will not go. If they don't know,
Yeah.
you have a high chance of succeeding. Or maybe you can just do something different. Try to set up and use your. You might even invest into using your swing as well. It's okay. Think about it like two sets of cooldowns usually. When you go on the angle,
Hmm.
you use your swing once. Okay, so let's say we kind of go on the angle with the swing, and then after you can have it as an escape. Yep. So potentially, what you could be doing with the swing. Yeah. Let's imagine you have it. You have it now. Where could you go? Where could
Yep.
you set up with your swing right away on this map? What's your thoughts?
Um, if I had my swing right here, um, if I was taking some kind of aggressive approach, I would probably just aim for the Moon Knight or the Cloak and Dagger, honestly.
Yeah, but remember,
But
you cannot engage right away, right? Because you might get
yeah,
CC'd
yeah,
and
yeah,
such, right? So
yeah. So
this.
I would probably try to like
Mhm.
just like swing onto like a wall or something, and then just try to swing away. Like, or I could just swing on the ground and do that door, and I could get out and be
Yeah,
back with my
yeah.
team.
So exactly, which position you would like to use, where you would like to end up eventually.
Um, I think again somewhere where they probably can't see me.
Yeah.
So probably somewhere on like the right side. Like the Moon Knight's looking
Mhm.
directly at the hall at the point. So I probably want to be somewhere on the right or
Hmm.
like maybe on the left on the wall flanking
Hmm.
so you can't see
Hmm. Exactly.
ideally.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, this is something what you can be investing your time into. Obviously, try to time the pressure with your team when you do this. So if these guys get distracted, then you can take
Yeah.
advantage of that. But you don't have to
Hmm.
dive in right away. We can even set up really back somewhere here. I not sure you can crawl on this wall, but probably you might be able
Hmm.
to. You can try to just sit somewhere, try to hide behind the high grounds, maybe try to even utilize the spawn because you have a lot of mobility and just exist there with your insane momentum. And later, when your team is ready, you will be set up at the close range. I'm just one out there. Another layer is verticality, close range, and some sort of more flanky-ish option coming from
Hmm.
behind instead of diving in directly like linear we mentioned, yeah, going from A, this point A, maybe to just our main to point B, their high ground, we can first of all start on the flank. Yeah, start on the flank and then go in later. But there might be some difficulties though. When you do this, is you don't want to get poked. Yeah, you want to stay alive. So it matters of just how you set up. Yeah, make sure you stay alive with your HP and time it correctly. But this is gonna be the most effective. Yeah, let's keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we watch this. It kind of later you're trying to go in deeper.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So this is sort of fine. You just don't want to look for the swing, I think. Yeah, you kind of use
Yeah,
it.
I'll probably just climb up the wall on the
Yeah,
left side and then just
exactly,
go up there and
exactly.
dive.
Because you might need it just now, for example, even. Yeah, but
Yep.
it's still something with what's resetting. Don't know if you played Overwatch as well, but really a lot of similarities to Raking Ball or Winston. Yeah, have you played Overwatch actually? Curious.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
That's fine. That's alright. Yeah, the characters was just
Yeah.
how it works. It's all really the same style. Okay, so now the cycle is over. You gotta set up
Yep.
again. It's usually use your abilities. It's kind of what do you do? It's maybe slam, try to just shoot them a little bit. Then you slow them down as well,
Yep.
and you can try to escape. Oh, one more thing: you use your shields typically because you're gonna be hardly focused. If you're not focused, then well, you can just use your shields later, but typically it's slam, slow, and it's just for your team to capitalize of it. Okay? Now you gotta repeat the same cycle. You gotta repeat the same cycle,
Yep.
kind of go in for the setup. So let's watch you. Trying to dive in. Alright, so this is sort of better because you're trying to go for the backline from the backline towards them. But I would wait just slightly longer. So like I said, okay, if I go for this type of swing, then maybe let's end up on the high ground. This for right in front of you and start there. I don't think you have to do the crawl there because you might just get spammed by some of the hit scan damage like the Bucky or Winter Soldier. They might do some damage to you,
Yep.
maybe even Doctor Strange, Cloak and Dagger,
Mhm.
and such. So you can just try to end up somewhere behind the wall and then go in later. Just kind of
Yep.
try to go in when you almost get your cooldown back.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have the ultimate, sure, okay, keep pushing. Alright, and now it's again the same stuff. We gotta try go and set up. You can even fight the staggers. It's fine to just try
Yep.
to push up a little, I think.
I think I. I think I. Yeah, I dove in right here.
Yeah, so this like can be an exception from our rules sometimes. If you realize there's a clear good kill opportunity, you can go, but it's just because they are two. Well, sure you could try,
Yeah.
but when they're more, I want to be careful. Even with two, you want to be careful because you want to be two, and it can make your engagement
Yeah.
less telegraphed as well. Even with this, so maybe
Mhm.
I can try to get more momentum. So what do you would need for this? I think you will need to look for higher up web. Yeah, so see this is not as high up. Maybe try to
Mhm.
go towards this structure on the left, for example. I think this would
Yeah.
work better. High webs, those give you better momentum. You can easily end up at the better spot, like more further away. So try to set up in the
Mhm.
doorway, later look for the slam, stuff like that. Yeah, being patient.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, let's keep watching. Do you have any questions so far, or everything makes sense to you?
I think. Yeah, I think everything makes sense.
Yeah. I know we kind
Yeah.
of just not much into the replay, but there are a lot of fundamentals to go over. So
Yep.
this is important. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, mechanically a little bit tough there as well. Wanna try
Yeah.
to just talk one person.
Oh my god, I got out. That was the guaranteed death, I thought.
Oh, okay, they're using some ultimate as well. Most likely will die there. Try to trade in this case. If you're choosing this option, well, let's try to go and farm ult charge. Just focus the squishy, I think, because
Mhm.
there's no chance for you to maybe do much. Oh wow, Spider-Man actually
Yeah.
turning this around. Interesting. Yeah. So, but anyway, if you're diving in, I think yeah, might be better just slightly focus on the squishy more. Let's see. So you see the Doctor Strange. Okay, yeah, so probably with this momentum, maybe trying to choose to go
Mhm.
continue shooting the backline, I think, can be nice. Like, maybe even this, Mr. Fantastic, just slightly better, but it's fine. Okay, Now we crawl up, stay in the wall,
Cool.
dive in. Yeah, so see, this is what I'm saying, yeah? What kind of mistakes you see there? See what we should be doing instead.
Um, yeah, I think an easy thing to do would just be climb up around the wall. And then maybe like, cause right here, this is the right angle for the strange, and he can just see me right here.
Hmm.
Um, if I go around the wall and maybe wait like 1 or 2 seconds, maybe he pushes up a little bit, and then I can uh attack him where he doesn't see me
Hmm. Hmm.
instead of just like dropping down and then attacking, and he expects it, right? So
Might be.
yeah.
What is another option? Let's say they never push up, then what? Do you keep staying on that wall or to the left there, or could you set up anywhere differently?
I could probably set up somewhere else. I'm pretty sure like the walls that are broken, like right here on the or next to the wall that I was crawling on, you
Yeah.
can climb up those. I could have probably climbed there. And I could have hidden the bush or something. They couldn't see me, but
What do you
um,
think if you even just go really deep and end up somewhere over here in this spawn, maybe just end up here on the stairs and then wait for your team
mhm.
to push and then try to go? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that could work. I would probably have to use my swing to get there
Of
if
course.
like in terms of like going to the back like really deep.
Hmm.
But yeah, I could probably wait for a couple seconds and then dive. If I get a kill, then I get out. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And see, this is what I want you to make connections to. So you go on some sort of close range flank with verticality. You can use your swing once to get there. And after that, once you set up, you can just go in something. You can go in slam and then have your swing as an escape later. Of course, there's some
Hmm.
exceptions too, like you said. Well, maybe you recognize you get a kill or so. Well, then in this case, I can just dive in. But we want to make your engagement as linear as possible and make it as easy for you to get value on their backline, so you divert the enemy attention. Yeah, why it's important for us to constantly set up on the flank. Yeah, set up on the angle. Okay, we diverting this guy so they go back more and they will not push your front line as much. Of course, this can also be an
Hmm.
option to sit over here, but only if you know if you know the fight is taking place right there, right here, and
Yeah.
your team is coming back, so it's reasonable to maybe wait a little. But I think it might be even better option, if possible, you to just end up in the back line and we'll be okay. Just not do not be poked before the fight, and you're gonna be just fine. Okay, does this make sense to you?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. It's a lot of what people don't do, I think, on those type of characters, the dive characters. They don't set up. They kind of spend a lot of time in the front lines. Like how we're getting poked out constantly, and your front lines
Mm.
getting pushed hard. Imagine you would be diverting the enemy attention to go on you, and you create your own value, being proactive with this type of play. You help your team to take so much more space.
Yep.
Okay, I think you know what I would do, because so far this might be good enough series to just try to implement. Maybe try to play a game and see how that's gonna work. Just go and set up first and then fight. So it's not engage right away, but go on short range flank, yeah, flank with verticality, and
Mm.
then go in on the enemy. And you might notice your engagements will be slower at the start. Yes, it's okay, but the
Yep.
more you're gonna do it, the easier for you will be to just polish all these habits and be faster later. You can kind of transition. You will notice you will transition your engagement from just setting up the engagement pretty fast. And you also might recognize the exceptions when you notice somebody is low. Okay, you can try to dive them later, but it's always good to start slow and good, and later you can build up
Mhm.
the speed. That's what I would do. Maybe let's try to do a game and you can screen share. What do you think, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
of
we can do
course?
that.
Yeah.
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 Let me see.
Yeah,
I
let's do
haven't
that.
screen shared on PS5 before, but let's see how this works. Um,
Oh, let's see. I think it should work just fine on Discord, I believe.
yeah. Transfer to console. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Just give me a second.
Yeah. So we're gonna have two steps. Yeah, two simple steps: setup and fight. Setup and fight. Okay. Uh.
Oh, here we go. Transfer to PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
But the button isn't loading. I can't
Oh,
click on it.
interesting. Are you on other device on Discord as well?
Like right now I'm on my computer.
Oh, you on your PC. I
Um,
see. Yeah, that's why it might be the case. Usually, when you're on multiple devices, it's not possible to screen share. You just
oh,
the Discord basically it might think that okay, you're on PC now, so it's not allowing you to screen share on any other device. Are you? Do you have a microphone on PS as well? Could just try to set up.
yeah, I have a microphone on my PlayStation.
Now, I could try to do that. You can just exit on PC and see how is that gonna work on PS.
Yeah, because I just loaded in onto Rivals, and I have like there's like a Discord tab on like the game base, and it just says like it can't load the Discord. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I think might be good if you just exit from PC and see how that's gonna work. We can try to see. Maybe yeah,
Mhm.
maybe if it's not gonna work today, you can just try to take your time, fix it for the next time. So make sure that everything's prepared, so you're able to screen share and such properly. That's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, we can also look into the replay
Mhm.
more. Of course, there's no problem.
All right. I'll try to figure this out. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to do it later then? Yeah, let's try to figure out this later,
Yep.
and let's keep going with the replay then.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah, it might take some time. I remember you have to obviously because you need the communication, you need to hear me. I think might take a little time. Or you can also play on PC, of course, but it's
Yeah.
what you
Oh no,
what.
no, this is a MacBook.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so on MacBook, yeah,
Yep.
I don't think it's possible. All right. Okay, so what we got so far is set up on the angle, take short range angle with verticality. Okay, we also gotta set up on the flank. And to be able to do that, we need to swing. It's just how you get there. You need to swing first sometimes, or you can crawl and then set up. Okay, swatting down. Yeah, you can crawl and then engage later. And after you've done the setup, you can just look to engage. You can just look to fight. Yeah, we kind of just divide it on two steps to
Hmm.
make it easy. Set up, engage, set up, engage. Your issue has been so far just too fast of engagement. Okay, let me screen share again.
Yep. If Discord doesn't work, is there another way like that you can watch my match or live?
I think it's possible to do through with Twitch, and there's also in-game option too. But there's a
Oh
delay.
yeah, you can spectate in game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing
I
is
remember
there's a
that.
delay, so I'm not sure how
Oh,
useful it's gonna
okay.
be. Yeah, I think they have like 5 or 4 seconds delay. I'm not sure if it's both on competitive. I'm pretty sure it's competitive on competitive, but maybe it's not on quick play. But yeah, might be on both. Probably it's on both. I remember there was one student we tried to screen share and watch through the in-game, didn't work. Well, there was a
Oh, okay.
delay. Yeah. I think with Discord should work. Should work. I have the other students from they play on PS as well. It's working. It should work. You just need to log
Okay.
off on other devices. Make sure your headset is connected and you can talk and play. Meanwhile, it will be
Okay.
okay later. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, let's watch more of this. Yeah, maybe any other specifics you're interested about because I want to make sure. Yeah, we kind of probably gonna try to talk about the same theme. We can also discuss the other stuff later. Just your maybe go
Hmm.
more in depth on abilities, the timing. But I think that's what you can start with first. It's setting up and make sure you engage. But yeah, any questions? Maybe anything you wanna watch more, look at more.
Uh, No, I think everything so far has been pretty good. Like
Hmm.
I think in the time like that you've told me, like I think I already know like most of what I can do to engage
No.
as Venom, like setup.
Do you have
Even if it takes like
any
extra
recent game,
seconds.
just anything, any recent game of for Venom?
Yeah. Uh, like I could send the code to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me a sec.
So I keep making
Like
those screenshots, but and then I have to replace the setting. I I create a new account and now it's just on the F12,
yep.
I think. Okay.
Um, let's see. I mean, I'll just send you this one. I mean, this one's a win, but
That's okay.
I think it's one of my most recent games.
Yeah, 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 we can skim through.
Uh, Here we go. Replay ID. Okay, here's the ID.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, I sent you it in the.
Yeah, 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 got it. Yeah. This one, 9 minutes, pretty fast game, and
Yeah.
seems like you guys should be getting it's kind of steamrolled down there. It even says in there, KDA. Well, let's watch. Let's watch. I'll be curious. What's good and bad. Again, based on just what we talked about, setup, engage. There's this bunch of other things, especially mechanics. But yeah, we can watch first. Okay, starting here, and yeah, again, I made a screenshot. That's all right. Okay, little time to load. Okay, now we are in. Okay, just gonna take some time. Okay, finally, we're in. By the way, the stream is working just fine for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can see everything. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so you do this, scroll up on the wall. So see, what is the problem with this type of? Let's just go. I think it's good using some verticality, right? And you have
hmm
your swing as an escape. But what you could also do better with the setup potentially. What do you think could be even maybe other options? Any other options you could look for? What do you think?
Um, I think right here. I mean, you could probably just try to. Okay. Well, they're all looking like on the right or on my left.
Yeah, 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 on your left.
So I could probably try to swing like on the wall, like to the right,
Hmm.
and no one's gonna spot me. So then I could probably dive there.
Potentially,
Um,
potentially.
yeah,
Yeah, might be one of the options, yeah. Because this wall here, it also has great cover, but it can also do the same
yep.
type of play, and this becomes less linear. So it's more flanky, less linear, and you can divert more attention. See, the important part as well is keeping in mind your escape options, so you kind of constantly keep diverting the enemy attention, so you don't just escape towards your team, but you kind of maintain the good flank option. But yeah. With don't win, kind of stay. Yeah, you still can slow them down. You can just use the shields. Yeah, when there's a lot of pressure, try to escape. Yeah, so see, this type of thing. You can do that, but if possible, if you can still go on the angle, somewhere to the side, might be even better. Here, I think you guys lost quite well. You lost some members, so might be okay, but maybe sometimes if there will be an option for you to just stay on the angle, be okay. In this case, I would, it might be just better to even consider escaping slightly faster, so you're just able to constantly remain the good sidelines. For example, here
hmm
I'm recognizing that most of you my cooldowns are down. Maybe you down more than half HP as well. You can already consider, okay, what if I escape and try to place myself on the angle? Well, let's say somewhere even over here where you get healed. You obviously want to have sidelines, but you don't want to have exactly be stuck with your team. Yeah, it's being last linear as possible. I go towards here instead of going towards here like we did, and this might divert the enemy attention. They might push you and such. If they push you, then they're not pushing the rest of your team. But yeah, it's just another kind of another detail. Yeah, Because you think about those
Yep.
fallback options, I think it's making it so much easier. Yeah, this
Hmm.
looks good with the walls though, with how we set up. Yeah, with maybe this one. Okay, let me watch. It's kind of go up on the wall, engage right away. Yeah, what do you think about this engagement?
I think just looking at it, I think it's a bit too aggressive. I mean, like obviously, like if you look at the point, like they're about to get it. I think what I was thinking here,
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't want them to get like the first point so quick. So I just want to try to contest the point before
Yep,
they can get on it.
yep.
But the problem with it is there's no one like even close. So if I don't get out like perfectly at the right time, then I'm probably just gonna end up dying here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So see, we're kind of prioritizing the objective here over contributing to the fight because the main fight is gonna, well, your team wants to control space with you. When you go in and dive in, if the rest of your backline are able to capitalize on what you're doing, then it's really nice. It's much more important compared to the objective because like I mentioned here, your cooldown is going to get forced to get out, and then when your team is actually able to do something, when they're actually able to shoot something, then we're not able to dive in. Becomes really really
Yep.
tough because of it. So definitely prioritize, well, in this case just again prioritize your setup. Just make sure you set up, and it shows, yeah, be patient. Once you're done something over here, yeah, we can try to just go up on the wall, maybe try to crawl, take my time, let them cap, it's fine. I think the left wall will be slightly better because your team is coming from the right doorway. You're trying to look again for more flanky-ish option to divert the attention. You might notice at the higher tier as well, they will try to look at you, they will try to actually spot you. And if they do that, maybe even before the dive, it's nice because you divert their crosshair, you make them look around and check. If I look at maybe, like I say, this, maybe someone, especially like Winter Soldier, I think this might be valuable.
Hmm.
If you just divert their crosshair instead of looking this way, they will be looking this way because they do it. They try to search for you. They're making it so much easier for your team to walk. Yeah, if you're not on the same angle, that's why it gives you a big advantage when less linear angles as possible. Okay, trying to damage, escape. I like the escape though. You just probably wanna remain. Yeah, be careful because you don't have your
Yeah,
shields.
I should have just backed out
Yeah,
after I swung the first time.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's fine to escape. Probably stay and just get the healing. You can also use HP pack sometimes too. The map allows you. I'm not sure. Is there? I think there's on this top. Yeah, there's like HP pack under. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, right there. You can get
Yep.
it possibly if you break this ceiling, but be usually consider your teams and
Hmm.
you can just try to play
Yep.
within their line of sight. I think it's fine, even though you're on the angle. Why not?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, using our swing first. Web, go in. Try to set up. Let's watch, let's watch. Okay, and this way again, you have time. You have time. You can use your swing,
Yep.
try to set up, go deeper back. You don't sit here, just go in deeper back and you're good. This storm, yeah, they notice you. Right?
Yeah.
It's fine, by the way. So see, kind of again, engaging from main there. I assume, yeah, you're gonna do this. And so basically could have done the same if you set up up on this platform and
Yeah.
go deeper
Hmm.
if you want. Somebody chases you, you can 1v1 them as well.
Yeah.
It's something squishy. Of course, some mechanics. Yeah, I think there's a headshot damage, right, on with this character too. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can
Yeah. You
do
can headshot. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You can do big amount of damage as well. Really, a lot of similarities to Breaking Ball and Overwatch actually.
Hmm.
It would do the same on that guy. All right. Yeah. So engagement, sure, did succeed though. Yeah, it was good timing. It was good timing though. This what I think you struggle with. Mentioned, well, sometimes struggle with timing, but I think from what I saw, your timing looks decent. Maybe you can just work on your setup more, and then it's gonna be easier for you to do stuff. Of course, sometimes we're messing up on the timing, but it's fine.
Yep.
I think it's a harder skill to develop though. The timing, once you solve that, you just need better map control after, and you can
Yeah.
time the pressure together with the team. Okay, crawl up on this wall. Might work actually. Yeah, why not? You can you actually sit on up on this ceiling as well? Is it possible? I think it is. Yeah.
I haven't tried it. I could try
Yeah,
it.
you could try it. See, with this one, because again, I don't know all the specific spot. You have to figure out a lot of stuff on your own. Oh, really? You can just
Yeah,
start to
yeah, yeah.
experiment. I give you a tool, an idea. Okay, flank, verticality, divert the attention. Yeah, less than engagement. But because if you're there, if I'm slightly better spot, then makes your engagement easier.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. I like the patience though. I like the patience. So you don't, yeah, you don't do stuff like right away. You punish them nice. Looks better though. You come from the behind.
Yep.
Obviously, the storm kind of went in by themselves, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's alright. So exception, you get a kill no matter what. If you notice this happens, sure, and that win. Okay. Yeah, now the fight is about to start again. I think you gotta set up again
Yeah.
one more time. So don't sit main, you just gotta try to go on the angle, try to go up and such. Would be a real nice. Okay. Yeah, this just feels like we sitting on the main a little bit too long. That's about it. You just need to,
Yeah.
and it might feel an urge that need to do damage with your normal fire,
Mm-hmm.
but in reality, you contributing to your team's fight, and especially damage-wise, when you do those slam and slow, if you do it in the right space, especially in the choke, where your team can just spam down, and just think about if enemy team they come out of this choke and you slam and slow everything, especially in those swabs, by the way, it will be really
Yeah.
nice for the rest of your team, and they can easily follow up with other shots to it. You making it easier for your team to aim as well. Yeah, that's alright. Okay, keep shooting. Yeah, it's alright. Probably you can be more forgiving middle of the fight, but yeah, okay, let's watch. Let's watch the next fight. You have the ultimate, I'll be curious. Your ultimate is quite interesting too. I think you have to set up as well. Sometimes, okay, the thing is though, I think when you have an ultimate, sometimes you can ignore the setup, in my opinion, because you for some time, well, you deal a lot of damage there, and you kind of sit
Mm-hmm.
on the ground. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna be curious. So you go in, slam. Okay. Right. Okay. So there's a storm. Why you didn't look for ultimate right away? Yeah, what have you been waiting for? I'm just curious to hear the thought process. Why not?
Yeah. I think right here, uh, obviously I see like the warlock at low health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think because I think this game I was trying to target the storm. I think the storm was way too close to the ground. A lot of like the pushes, so I want to
Yeah, a
try to
lot of
target storm.
times. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, if I ult, I want to get storm in.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Venom gets
Oh
shield
yeah,
depending on
anticipating the
like the
storm
tanks.
ult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I want to try to just to bait it, but I couldn't in time.
Makes
So I was like, oh, I'll
sense.
just save it.
Yeah, makes sense. Then in this case, try to still do this type of setup first. If you wanna force them to do something, then instead of swinging in right away, maybe get on, like we mentioned, yeah, get on the wall, get closer. I don't know, maybe go to the left slightly, a little bit more, and maybe even the right side could be okay. I think the left side still slightly better, and then it will be easier for you to just be surprising their storm or whatever at the backline you want to go for. Because this just kind of, we went in right away. And well, we use ultimate eventually around here. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Also, out of the range. Sometimes you trying to attack out of the range. Be careful with that. Do you know what can damage you when you using the ultimate? Because I don't know currently. Did
Yeah.
you? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
if I'm in the ult, they can hit me. I've been killed a couple times, like
Yeah,
when I'm
because this
low
is
and
what
I
I
ult.
saw as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just not too sure about the damage about those micros. But anyway, the
Mhm.
how it what it should be though with ultimate is obviously make sure we time it and make sure that I'm thinking position wise, a lot of times it's good if
Hmm.
we trap the enemy somewhere, kind of pincer them a little bit. If, for example, my team is pushing to here, and then you can just trap them in there. It's really nice, again, based on the good flank options. So yeah, definitely want to be careful though with when you have the low
Yep.
HP bar with this. I think it's fine if you just engage and then initiate with that.
Hmm.
Because when you sit in ult, you also meanwhile you regain your cooldowns, I believe. Yeah, you still have, let's watch. So let's go back. Yeah, a little bit more back. So this you in ultimate, yeah, you still regain the cooldowns. This is the time you can use to do something else because you're in ultimate form, but you get your cooldowns back
Hmm.
and then you can continue the cycle of your pressure. Alright. So that's fine. Okay. Okay, so there are quite a few things we mentioned already. I think might be enough, at least for today. We can dive more in details over the other uh, concepts, but so far, to just summarize, what do we need to work on based on our session today? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think like the things I need to work on, obviously, like try to maintain good positioning, especially when my team's in like a power position. Like if I can find somewhere that
Hmm.
I'm perched up on like a area where they can't see me, and then they push in and I dive, it helps a lot for my team. So I need to do that more. And like try to obviously like try not to use my swing as much going into engage. I can take time to set up if I need to,
Yep.
because it doesn't hurt my team like a lot. Yeah, I think those are two main things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. With your setup though, what are you looking for? What are the specifics we mentioned so far? How your good setup looks like?
Um, yeah, I think obviously again I need to go somewhere like if I'm diving that they don't see me. Um, the
Yeah.
importance is like try to get your team some leverage in terms of if they're getting pushed back. If I'm diving their backline, then they have to focus me, and then we can push up as a team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, with I'm just gonna write it down this way for you about the angles. You looking for three specifics in terms of setup, verticality, short range, and also looking to go on the flank. Okay, so this is
Hmm.
just more diverting the enemy attention, kind of 180 angle, I like to say sometimes. Yeah, you just trying to set up there as much as possible. Of course, there's some exceptions depending on the map layout. Sometimes it's not as easy to do,
Hmm.
but definitely lean towards this option more. And what are the exceptions when you can ignore the setup? What's been the rule so far? Well, kind of didn't discuss it as much, but yeah, when you don't have to invest time in setup, what do you think?
Hmm.
What is the
Um,
mhm.
yeah, I think if I don't have to like if I just go like swing and dive in, um, uh, I think it's like if I don't have invested, obviously I just have to wait. I just have to survive longer if I dive in, because I have to wait what like
Yeah,
7 seconds for my swing to come back.
right. And remember what happens if you
Yeah.
dive in right away. Yeah, if they have full resources, there's a high chance you get your resources cooldowns forced out early, and your engagement is easily telegraphed as well. They can
Yeah.
easily see
Hmm.
it. Okay, so
Yep.
this type of play, right? The exception when you can actually do this play is, I think, main. Let's just say we can dive whenever when you confidently get a kill. That's pretty much can be a good thing. Yeah, let's say somebody's low HP, maybe you're trying to follow up on the enemy pressure. There are quite a lot of ultimates. There's quite a lot is going on with the pressure.
Hmm.
Then you can try to dive in. I think this can be the
Yep.
exception. Okay, but mostly look into setup with angles. I think this is gonna be just fine. A specifics of when getting on the angle. Yeah, you can crawl, engage later. You can swing, engage later. And another thing is look for last linear engagement. We will look into that a little bit more as well. I think that today is quite a lot. Yeah, less linear. Remember, it's going to the sides more. Yeah, not going on the main, but using sides of the map more.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Any questions for today? Yeah, maybe any final questions? Anything?
Um, no, I don't think so. I think I learned a decent bit today, just from like how I can position not only like start the game but like the whole game. I think it's pretty good.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So for the next time, what we can discuss with you?